right, everyone. So welcome to the third episode of the Inside Swoop. We have a little bit of a different format here as we're on a Zoom call, but that is because I am in the United States and my friend Kelvin over here is actually in Germany. Kelvin Omojola, who graduated from NU in 2021. Kelvin, what time is it right now where you are?
It is 8:03 p.m.
Okay, good. So I'm not getting you at 3 a.m. or anything like that.
Nah, you're good. You're good,
Perfect.
Maya.
Good. Okay, well, Kelvin, we're gonna talk a bit about your time at NU, and then obviously you're overseas right now, still playing basketball. So we're kind of gonna go in chronological order. We'll talk about Northwest, and then your rookie year, your second year, and now you're in your third year currently overseas. So Kelvin's from Las Vegas, Nevada, where he went to Green Valley High School, Defender of the Year. Remember those days?
Man, oh my goodness, now you're taking me back, Maya. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, and then before coming to Northwest, he was actually in South Carolina at Benedict College. Started 13 to 27 games, averaged about 20 minutes a game, nearly 10 points. And then he ended up over in the Pacific Northwest. So what brought you over to NU?
So originally, Maya, I just wanted to be closer to home because South Carolina was so far, and even though like my best friend actually he went to the same school as me in South Carolina, so that was really nice. But I just wanted to be on the West Coast, somewhere closer to home. That was the main reason to come to Northwest.
Yeah, being closer to home. Yeah. Yeah, and then so you transferred over your junior year, so it's 2019 at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
right into transferring, you joined a pretty good Northwest team, averaged about 23 minutes a game, 7 points, 1.6 assists, 2 rebounds a game. So you were a valued player right away with that team. You guys made it to the playoffs, if you remember, 13-7 in league, and then lost in that first round to Eastern Oregon by just 4 points.
Yeah,
A heartbreaker.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, not to cut you off, Maya, but yeah, so like my first year here, um, that was an adjustment because especially because I was at a Division II school. So me being narrow-minded, I'm thinking, okay, I'm coming to an NAIA school. I'm coming here, I'm about to be the man, like I'm for sure the best player here. And, little do I know, people could play in any level, it doesn't matter. And yeah, the team that I come into my junior year is like Christian Hakilimaki, great player. Hussein Ford, great player. DJ Walker, great player. Caesar Sandoval, great player. Like all these like really Keaton McKay, like all these really, really good players. And we had a great team that year. And I was even, in the playoffs, we didn't go as far as where we wanted to, but yeah, we had a really, really good team. And that was definitely an adjustment for me because I'm coming in thinking, okay, I'm gonna have this huge workload. And really it was I gotta get used to how Coach Drink's system is. I gotta fit in with these guys that are already here versus okay, like let's say I'm here and everybody else figures it out. So that was really an adjustment, but I wouldn't change it if I
Right.
could look back.
Right. And it's great, you guys, you really had a great team. But then the unfortunate thing is the following year, COVID hit. And
Mm-hmm.
as looking at your stats, we were just talking about it, your stats just seem to go almost double. I mean, you're playing the same minutes, but now you're at 14 points a game, 3.2 assists, almost 5 rebounds a game, and 54% from three. So your shot was looking good. You were probably in on the gun a lot that year, but only playing 6 games. I mean, what was that like? Just feeling like maybe you're at the top of your game, but not really having a full season.
Yeah, so even before that, Maya, so like obviously when COVID hit, I remember really thinking, but obviously, the world stopped, and I'm really thinking like, okay, what do I want to do after college? Okay, I have 1 year left. What do I really, really want to do? And I was like, okay, I want to be a professional basketball player. And I was like, okay, what do I need to do in order for me to get there? So like that COVID summer, like changed my diet. The workouts were super intense, like 2, 3 times every single day. And so leading into obviously the COVID season, like I was like there was like no excuses. That was my mindset. I'm not making any excuses. I'm gonna enjoy this last season because even though I was already in the moment, even though I was in the moment, I can still realize that dang, I'm like Northwest is a great school. I love it here. Like I'm not gonna be around anybody like this in this kind of environment. This will be my last year doing this. And I just wanted to take full advantage of it. So I was even tripping on, okay, there was only 6 games I'm able to play. I'm just like, okay, you know what? Every single game, I'm really just gonna go and play like it's my last game. And I mean, yeah, even though it was 6 games, Maya, like 2 games got canceled, but really it was like obviously playing wise, I had some great games, and that was of course that's always great. But really, just being able to hang out with like the guys for one last year, like from Koa, Caesar Sandoval again, like Keaton McKay, like all these different players. Like I really just enjoyed my last season at NU. You know, it was the whole COVID thing, getting tested twice a day. If one person gets a positive test, all right, games are canceled. So it was really crazy, but I enjoyed it though, honestly.
Right. Yeah. You remember having to make that 5-10 minute drive to Key Bank in the back parking lot, have to enter
Yeah.
through the back doors, get a parking slip, and then go get that test. I remember doing that once,
Maya,
twice a
what?
week with Maria. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. And then they're going like so far up your nose. See, sometimes you got like good testers where they would just like barely swab it and good. But then sometimes, oh my goodness, they would
What's
go so
what's the
close.
deal with that? I mean, some of them are just right here, and then some of them they're poking your brain. Like, let's
And
choose which one so I know what to expect.
no, exactly. That's the only thing was with me. I was like, okay, it was just so inconsistent. Like even from like the mask, like okay, you have to have a mask, but then the games, you're no mask. I'm like, if
Right.
we just need, everybody needs a mask. I don't know. It was a lot.
We
I
did
still
it to play basketball though, right? That's what we wanted to
exactly.
do, just keep playing. Yeah. Yeah,
Come on.
you said you wanted to go into those COVID games just giving everything you got, and the stats really do show that in the SPU games. You guys played a good SPU Division II team, Seattle Pacific. They went 22-7 the year prior, and then you go and score 27 points on them. 6 for 7 from three. Again, just a good shooting year for you. And then also in that COVID year, you guys went on to beat Eastern Oregon by 10.
Mhm.
You given 9 points to that game. So, I mean, it's just frustrating, losing in playoffs the year before to Eastern, and then coming up the second year beating them. It's just you wish things were different, but also look where you are now, right?
No, my for sure. And that's the thing. Even though obviously a year later they had a whole different team, but even so, my mindset was okay. You know what? I'm just I'm happy to be here. Happy to still be playing. Like that Seattle Pacific game. Like I was happy that game just didn't get canceled. And
Right,
obviously, I had a really great game. It would have been nice if we won, but
right.
still, yeah. It was that to me. That COVID season was just like the season of like appreciativeness.
hmm Right.
So
You remember your last game too? It was at Multnomah. Oh yeah, there it is. I mean, he remembers because that's a 26-point game, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 assists away from a triple double, possibly
yeah.
your only triple double of your career at NU. I mean, who missed those 3 shots? You can tell us who missed those shots because I
No,
know
it's
you got the ball to them.
no, my, you know, it's crazy. That game was such a blur. Like that game, like the memories are so great for me because obviously one, that was my last game ever in college. And so that was already crazy. Like, dang, this is my last game. And this was the best game I've ever played in college by far. So that was already crazy. Two, we ended on a win. And most pretty much every season, unless you win the championship, it ends on a loss.
Right.
So for us to end the season on a win, it's like everybody's in a good mood, good spirits. So that was great. And then I was so locked in that game. Like even because I remember the assistant Zach Smith, he was like, "Man, Kel, you know what stats you had?" And normally, okay, like you played, you kind of know, okay, I had like 20-some points, I had X amount of assists. I was like, man, I literally have no idea. I know I probably had like 20-some points, but even then, it's like I don't know anything. He was like, yeah, 26, 12, and 7. I was like, oh, snap. Like, I was balling. But it even seemed like it was just like I'm so locked in on this
Yeah.
final.
Yeah. I mean, you had to be locked in that entire game too. It was back and forth the entire time. 13 seconds left. I was looking back at the play-by-play. 13 seconds left. They foul you and you make one of two free throws, but I mean, that's all right. You got to keep everyone on the edge of their seat. Making one of those two free throws, they'll put you up by 4 with 13 seconds left. So that's a huge shot. And then
Yeah.
you guys go on to win by 1. They hit a 3, but
Yeah.
you guys pulled it out, and winning in that last game is really big. So that's good.
Yeah, that was really special, especially looking back on it. Man, like I really miss those moments for sure. But
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Kelvin, one thing I wanted to bring up kind of regarding that COVID year is you were right on track to beat a couple NU records, be a past teammate actually. So you played with Chris Hakilimaki your freshman year, and he holds a few records. He was second in the CCC with assists, 5.7 a game, ninth in the NAIA, second place at NU. And I think you were right on track to possibly beat that. He was also fourth in the CCC field goal percentage at 54, and 12th in the CCC in scoring. So we're actually why don't we just add him on in this Zoom call as a surprise for Kelvin? He's gonna jump in here real quick.
oh man, Chris.
Yeah. Kelvin had no idea Chris was joining. So this is gonna be just a little surprise, and we get to hear them talk about their glory days a bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Chris. And that was my roommate. That was
Oh,
my
really?
roommate.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh my, see, that's mine. That's how I knew. You said we're waiting on him. I was like, waiting on him? That sounds like Chris.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
cap.
There
That's cap.
it is.
what's up, Chris?
How's it going, boss?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. Trying to get like you. Inspirational.
Oh man, here you go.
Chris, we were just talking about you a bit. Kelvin's senior year at NU was COVID, and I was just telling him he was right on track to maybe beat a few of your records, but the COVID year cut him short. But Chris Akilimali, he just finished his 3rd year of coaching at NU. So after playing at NU for a few years, he's joined the coaching staff. But he played with Kelvin's freshman year and Chris's senior year. So Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about what it was like playing with Kelvin? Kelvin, you talked to us about the same. Yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was. I think the thing that sucks about it is Kelvin got injured during like where we were wrapping up for the playoffs, and just that team never got quite right. But playing alongside Kelvin was right a dream come true. He did a lot of the things that I didn't do very well. So he complemented my game style. He could play the 1 and then move me over to the 3, or I could play the 1 and he could be the 2. I think it was a fit. And then obviously in the locker room, it was like he's a easy guy to get along with, and he lightened up the locker room and made people laugh and just put it all together. I think Calvin pulled a hammy or a groin or something, and then really hindered our ability, right, to play as a dynamic duo. But it was fun. Made life easy for me. Really complimented my game well, and allowed me to be myself, which not a lot of people can do, I guess.
Right. Kelvin, I imagine that coming in as a freshman and Chris being older than you may have looked up to him a bit as a person and as a player. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was my junior year when I transferred
Oh,
over.
sorry, junior. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, even still, man, it's so Chris is being so humble right now. It's actually funny. So now, Chris, let me tell you, Chris is really a pro. Like the way he plays his game, like his numbers, like he is really a pro basketball player. And like he didn't play pro because like he didn't want to play pro. I remember Chris saying that. Chris, tell me if I'm lying, but I remember you saying that, like, nah, I'm done. It's my last season. My body hurts.
Yeah.
Remember Chris after every day, my body's killing me.
Hurting,
But
man.
I like for real, Chris was so good. So good. Like, oh my gosh. Getting to the basket, finishing around the basket. Like real athlete. Remember, like LeBron chase down blocks. Oh my God. Chris, and I can talk about Chris all day. Chris really was a great player. It's like him and Hussein, like really obviously they were like our engines for sure that year. And so especially like my role, just come in, just kind of fit in, help them. Obviously, and we had a really good team. We were really talented. But obviously, like Chris said, guys getting hurt. But yeah, Chris was a great player. Same thing with Chris, like super easy to get along with, super cool. Everybody like Chris. Yeah. But Maya, this man's being too humble right now.
Oh, I saw him play. I know.
Yeah,
No.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. And
There's
you
some
mentioned-
of us could be pros and others can't, right? Like
Right.
I'm doing 9 to 5, and one of us is playing pro basketball. So
You mentioned you guys were roommates as well.
mhm.
Roommates in the dorms, up in the apartments. Where were you living? Apartments.
Yeah, we were in the apartment. It was me. Oh man, that was crazy. So me, Chris, Hussein, and DJ, all of us in the apartment together. That was crazy. I remember it's funny, even when I first think back on like the first memory I think of Chris is when we all watched the Super Bowl in the living room.
Mhm.
I remember that. And then I don't know if you were there. I know Hussein was there, but this is after I think this might have been after the Eastern Oregon game, like the playoff game. I remember it was me, obviously me, DJ Hussein, and a whole bunch of people just like in the room, in the living room, just chopping it up. I think like I think Parker was there. Yeah, I don't think
he all came by.
Yeah, but that was like the first memory I think of when I think about our time in the apartment. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I think another cool one was when 2K dropped, and then there's like everybody like checks.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think I was the only one without a console, and I was like that was the
No, that
quietest
was crazy.
apartment ever. Like there's this.
Because you were in your room. Yeah, you were in your room.
I think Trey was in our room. You was in
Oh.
Hussein. You and Hussein were in the room, and then Hussein was in the living room, and then it was like 45-inch TV, 45-inch TV. Hussein was on like the 50-inch, and like you could hear everybody was locked in. I was like, wow.
Oh,
That's awesome. Well, speaking of some of your teammates, Kelvin, I found a quote from you from a German hoops news outlet. I think it was last year, but it says Kelvin remembers never losing a one-on-one duel against former teammate Koa Chapman.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. First of all, that's very true. That's first. Second of all, if Koa sees this, he's gonna be mad because he knows it's the truth. I remember we played one-on-one. I don't know if it was one or maybe twice, but we played. I won, and we never played again. So what that mean?
That's how you do it.
Yeah, but Koa, again, he was like Chris being a great player. Like Koa, you saw him as well. He was a really, really good player. Oh my God, super skilled. He was a dog, super tough, could shoot, defend. Yeah, like I love playing with Koa as well. He was a really, really great player.
Is he in Miami now? Is that what he's doing?
No, I think he's in LA. He's in LA.
Okay.
Oh, because obviously he's trying to play professional as well, which I think he's a pro.
Yeah.
So I think he's looking to get his foot in the door somewhere, and then he'll be good from there.
Awesome.
I think he's getting to that point where he's about to lock down a deal. I think last time we spoke, he was going to, I want to say like Australia or New Zealand, something like that, and he's getting really close to getting a contract.
That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We love seeing Northwest alum in the pros. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Oh, you could be here too, Maya. Don't be humble. You could definitely be here as well.
Oh, I'd love to. Maybe I'll come visit, but yeah, this is what I'm doing for now. Sweet. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Kelvin and I are going to go on and talk about what he's doing right now, but we'd love to have you come on and talk a little bit about your guys' days as Eagles together. Yeah,
for sure. Appreciate you guys letting me crash a little bit. Kelvin, super proud of you, man. It's been humbling to watch you just kind of progress through your career days, and it's been proud to say I played alongside a professional basketball player. So appreciate it, man.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Chris.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. There he goes.
There we go.
Is that who so that's who you're thinking? And I was like, yeah, he's late. You're like,
yeah. That's exactly who I was thinking. I was like, I think it might be Chris. And then when you said he's late, I'm like, oh yeah, it's definitely Chris. I
Yeah.
remember that.
I loved that too because you brought him up before we even started talking about that. And I was like, yes, I got the right guy.
Oh yeah, Chris, man. Yeah, I really love playing with Chris Meyer. He's a great player and he was a great person as well. Like that makes me happy to see as well because like we need more of that. Like really good people that are coaches.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. All right. So enough about NU. Let's talk about what you've been doing the last 3 years. So out of college after that senior year, you went overseas to play in the Pro B League in Germany, starting with, and forgive me if I pronounce some of these wrong. I looked up a lot of pronunciations. You can correct me. I'll say them once and then we'll move on. But first playing for Speyer, is that right?
Yeah, perfect.
I won't try and say the rest of the name, but I know where it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. Playing for Speyer in the Pro B League. So your rookie year, you just started off hot with 15 points a game, 3.3 assists a game, 2.7 rebounds a game. So you really brought your style of play from your senior year of NU right into the pro league, which is just really cool to see. Playing 23 games, scoring double figures in 21 of those games. I mean, that's huge. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that journey and kind of that transition, how you got connected with this league.
Yeah, so first off, Maya, like I told you, in the summertime, I knew I wanted to be a pro. And so I was looking up how do I do that? And so from the summertime, it was okay, you got to make sure you have your basketball resume, which is just like a regular job resume, but just in basketball. So make sure you have your basketball resume, make sure you're reaching out to agents because if you're not a high profile player at a Division I school or Division II school, they're not gonna be looking for you, which makes sense. So I was like, okay, so I'm writing all these notes down. And so I made sure once literally when the last game happened, like 2 days later, I had my highlight tape for the season done, put my basketball resume together, and I was already emailing agents that were based in Germany. Because I knew I wanted to play there because my mom is German, so obviously I'm half German. I got my German citizenship. And I was like, okay, I want to play in Germany. And so I reached out to like 10 agents, like 9 of them hit me back saying, oh, we want to represent you, Kelvin. And I'm like, oh, dang. Like because I have friends, like they're reaching out to agents. They're not even contacting them back. So I'm thinking, okay, man, I'm reaching out. Hopefully, 1 or 2 respond. And 9 of them respond saying, we want to take you on as a client. I was like, oh, okay. So now I could choose which agent is best for me. So I ended up choosing the agent, and I ended up signing so he basically gets the deal for me, lets me know, hey, Kelvin, this is the deal, blah, blah, blah. This is where you'll be staying. Cool. And yeah, so that's how it came about, getting my foot in the door over there. And yeah, I really just wanted to make an impact on like my rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
And so even before the season started, we had a preseason game against a Pro A team, Trier. And they're a second division team. So Pro B is third division, and they're second division. So we play them. I got like butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, man, like I gotta ball out. I gotta prove it to myself that I could play on that level. So even though it's just a preseason game, there's no scouting. It's really not that serious. But to me, it is that serious.
Your
But
first pro
now,
game, yeah.
exactly. But so now where I'm at, even in my career now, I'm like, okay, preseason is preseason. You're working the kinks out, whatever. But not to me, not my first year. So that game happens. We beat them by 20, which that never happens. We beat them by 20. I had 23 points, 5 rebounds. I'm like, yo, I could really play. Like that's when I realized I belong. And so, yeah. So my rookie year was a lot of fun. And then towards the end of my rookie season, basically my coach, he kind of really gave me the really green light. Like he already had the green light, but it was okay, Kelvin, now it's the green light and you're playing 38 minutes a game. Mm-hmm. So now I'm super comfortable. I could do whatever. I'm not worried about making mistakes. And like like confidence, that's the most important thing as a player. So I'm feeling great. So we end up having a great like season wise as a team, winning a lot of games. We make the playoffs, and we end up losing in the first round of the playoffs. We should have won. Coincidentally enough, the team that we lost to, that coach, he's actually my coach currently.
Right.
So
Right.
so he'll bring it up like, hey, you guys should have beat us in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
but here, like, it was a really fun season, Maya. I got to really know that, okay, I belong as a pro, and I really just enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the ruling like in terms of having Americans on those pro teams? Because I know most of them are full German descent. You have dual citizenship, but I see just like one or two that are from the States or from Eastern Europe. So what's that like?
Okay, you did your research, Maya. Okay, nice. But
Yeah.
so it depends on what league you're in. So in Pro B, you only get one non-European player per team.
Okay.
Like, I know a lot of people actually ask me, like, Kel, how do I get, let's say, where I'm at now, like in this league? And I'm telling them, I'm like, hey, this is not just, oh, who are the 15 best players to go play pro. It's no, it's the 13 or 14 for the German players in this league, and then you have basically now you have everybody else in the rest of the world fighting for two spots. So it's really, really tough. Even though I have my German passport, I'm not considered in this league. This league is called local players. So local player means you spend like, I think, 2 or 3 years growing up here, pretty much.
Okay.
And so Pro A, second division, it's a little more relaxed. You can have like a couple of imports. I think maybe like on my team last year we might have had about around 5 or 6, and obviously, but that's not just America. It's Croatia, wherever else, Canada. But yeah, so that's how the rules work in Pro B at least.
Okay, so it's pretty competitive if you're not a local.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Sweet. So then after that rookie year playing in Pro B, you took a step up to the Pro A league playing for Karlsruhe, the Lions.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a quiet year. You had a couple double-figure games, but you were part of a really successful team with a big postseason run, losing in the semifinals. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're spot on, Maya. So that season, so okay, I move up to Pro A. Through the first half of the season, I was averaging just under 8 points a game, and I was like, okay, I'll get right second half of the season. If I stay around 8, maybe get up to 10 a game, I'm solidified here in the Pro A. But then we actually ended up signing another guard. He came down from the first division. He came down to second division. He's actually my good friend. His name is Ben Shungu. And so once he came down, all my minutes were gone. And so that's really when that's when I really realized, okay, this is what the pros is about. Like, may hurt your feelings. If you're not producing the best, we're going to get somebody else in here to produce better than you. And that's pretty much what happened. And obviously, looking back on it, of course, it was definitely hard. It was definitely super tough. But I mean, it is what it is. It's just kind of, to me, it's just like any other job. Like, if you're not producing at the rate you're supposed to be, then we'll get somebody else in here to do the job.
Right.
So yeah, but obviously we are a really successful team nonetheless. Like, everybody on that team, I have great relationships with. We were really, really successful. Went to the semifinals. We easily could have went to the championship, but yeah. So even though I didn't get to play a lot in that second half of the season, I was so fortunate. I was so grateful. Like, hey, I'm competing with, especially like we had 3 really good guards ahead of me. Bazu Kone, he was in the G League for a little bit with the OKC Thunder. Lavelle Kabil, he played at Liberty University. And Ben Shungu, which I say he came down from first division. He played at University of Vermont. So I'm battling against these guys every day in practice. So to me, the practices were now my games because I'm not playing like that. I'm like, okay, I'm battling against like the best backcourt in the league. this is only going to make me better. So I just accepted it, and I was, hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna make the most out of it.
Yeah, yeah. And you continue to improve your game. I mean, playing with those good players and then continuing into your current year now in your third year overseas playing for the Rhöndorf Dragons, which is just an awesome mascot. I love that. I love the all orange uniforms. You don't see that anywhere except
I know.
the United States.
Yeah.
You can't miss them.
No, literally.
Yeah, but Kelvin and his team, the Dragons, just finished regular season, and now they're going into the playoffs. But Kelvin's currently averaging 13.5 points a game, 5.8 assists, and 2.8 rebounds. And so going into the playoffs, April 13th, I believe, is the first round where you guys will play someone from the North Division. So from what I saw, there's a North Division, there's a South Division. The Dragons are in the South Division. They finished in first place, 19-7, a great league play, and they'll play the 8th team from the North Division. So sounding like you guys got a pretty good team to play, but I would favor the Dragons probably, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure, Maya. And so, yeah, we have a really good team this year. Obviously, we're number 1 in our division, which is huge. A lot of people have us as the favorite to not only get to the championship, but win it. And then obviously, as a team, we're trying. So, the top 2 teams, they get to move up to Pro A. So,
Okay.
so for us, that's how I'm looking at it. That's how the rest of the team is looking at it. Like, yeah, we're trying to win the championship, of course, but we're trying to make sure, hey, we're moving up to Pro A, and that's the goal. So we're not even thinking about, oh, the season could end in a week. We're thinking, no, we're here till the end of May.
Right.
So we're really locked in, and then obviously myself, I'm having a good year this year. The coach, he's really empowered me. This is my first year playing the point guard position really full time, and I was second in the league in assists, which was pretty crazy even for me. That's actually kind of shocking because I've never done that before. But yeah, I'm just really fortunate to be in this kind of position, and hopefully, we're able to win it all and get to the championship.
Kelvin also leads his team in assists and steals, and he's third in points. But this is my most favorite thing about you playing right now, Kelvin, is you remind me of one of my favorite men's basketball player, Rajon Rondo, especially when he played for the Celtics. I remember being little, I would always pick the Celtics playing 2K because I wanted to be Rondo. But 4 games this season, you've gone into double digits in assists, and you've had 6 or more games having 8 or more assists, which is just, you don't see that a whole lot. You just have that point guard vision, and it's really cool. And this stat line is my favorite stat line of yours. February 3rd of this year, 19 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 10 for 10 from the free throw line in a 10-point win. You remember that game?
Yeah, that was against Oberhaken. So they're in Munich. That was probably my best game all season. That was a really, really good game. And even then, the first half, I didn't do anything in the first half. I think I had 2 points in the first half. And then the second half, it was just everything was just clicking, from passing, steals. Obviously, all the free throws were going in. That was a really fun game as well. But yeah, definitely remember it.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us a little bit about just life in Germany right now. What's housing like? What are meals like? What do you guys do as a team? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's probably obviously the biggest difference between, college and the pros. It's pretty much just like any other job, Maya, honestly. Even though, yeah, we got practice, you can go to the gym, get shots up. But really, Maya, hey, if you're hungry, you go eat on your own. You cook what you want to cook. You're responsible for your well-being. And that's probably the biggest thing, instead of okay, I'll go to the cafeteria, get some food, or, well, I'm on a lunch meal plan at the university. But That's probably the biggest thing, that adjustment. Okay, I got to get used to me cooking for myself. What am I going to cook? You know, a lot of times it's like, man, I don't feel like cooking today, especially after a really tough practice, but yeah, you need to. Then obviously you can't just eat junk food and stuff like that. Like, you got to really, especially now that I'm older, I'm like, man, I'm only 26, turning 27. But I'm like, man, if I don't eat good, Maya, I feel it. I
Right.
feel sad. Oh my gosh. But that's probably the biggest difference, the biggest adjustment. But like, life in Germany, it's really great, Maya, honestly. Free healthcare, that's great. um, I really have no complaints. And I always tell like my family, my friends this. Whenever I come back home for the summertime, I'm like, man, I feel like I was just on vacation for
Mm.
9 months, because I really just love living out here. Like, I really have no complaints whatsoever, especially Germany. I mean, you look on, like, if you type in best countries in the world, best countries to live in, Germany is always in like the top 3, top 5, and always above the United States. So it really is a great place to live, Maya. And it's really similar to the United States, which I think a lot of people don't know. Like,
Hmm.
it's very, very similar to the United States in a lot of ways, but it's better in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah. And where you're living right now, it's right on that river as well. I was looking at a map. What's the weather like? Do you guys get to go hang out by the river, do any water sports?
Yeah, no water sports, Maya. Nah, it's especially obviously, which is annoying because the time that we're out here, it really is like the winter time when it's actually really cold.
Hmm.
So yeah, the river you're talking about is the Rhine, and we never really go there. But I know when the weather's starting to get warmer now, but I give it a couple more weeks, Maya. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be hanging out around there for sure.
Right. Especially after you get that championship win, right?
Maya, what? That's the first place we're going. Hey, the weather is great.
We're
We're going
headed to the
right
Rhine.
right to the Rhine.
That's cool. That's cool. So you've been in Germany for 3 years now, but you come home in the summer, it sounds like. Have you
Mhm.
traveled anywhere else?
What, for playing wise, or just when I come back home?
Both, but mostly in
Okay.
Europe.
Okay, yeah, okay. I know, my bad. I know what you mean. So yeah, so actually, I try to go somewhere honestly whenever I can.
Hmm.
Obviously, season is kind of tough, obviously with practice and stuff like that. But so last year, or my first and my second year, went to France, went to Strasbourg a couple times, a few times actually. This past year, my younger sister, she came out here, so she was with me for a little bit, and we went to Amsterdam together. That was really, really fun. Obviously, we'll go to other cities in around Germany, from obviously Munich to Frankfurt. Um, that's pretty much the main city, Cologne, Bonn, cities like that. But that's I want to. My goal next year is when my girlfriend comes. Hopefully, we can go to like Italy.
Hmm.
That's yeah, or to Paris. That'd be really, really cool. Paris is probably the next one on the list, but yeah, definitely try to travel as much as I can.
Right. You might not want to go to Paris this summer as they're holding the Olympics. There won't be
Oh,
room to walk around.
oh yeah, no. Oh no, no, no. Oh my, summertime. Hey, I am straight back to the States. And that's where I'm at. I'm no Europe. Europe's only in season for sure.
Okay, good, good. Yeah. Yeah. What's the training like compared to the collegiate level? Is it a lot more intense? How's it different?
It's That's a great question, Maya. It's different because one, obviously, like as a professional, it's like little things where, okay, we expect you to be in shape. We expect you to know certain basics of the game, pretty much. Obviously, each coach has like their different philosophies that they want to emphasize and teach. But for the most part, it's you know how to play basketball. That's Act like you know how to play basketball. That's first and foremost. And then the training workload, that it really depends on the coach. Because some coaches, they're really, we practice twice a day. We're going hard. Like every single day, we're going at it. We're competing. And
Hmm.
then coaches, it's okay. They're a little bit more laid back with the workload. So it really, I guess you kind of say the same thing about college as well. It really depends on who you're playing for, the coach, but that's really prevalent in the pros.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, this has been super fun, Kelvin. I've loved hearing about your time overseas, and I actually love to hear that you come back in the States. Maybe I'll see you at an open gym or something. Maybe you and Koa can have that one-on-one again, because he's gonna hear this and he's gonna say, "Oh, I've been working, Kelvin. Let's meet up again." He'll be in the gym before you know it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now I would love to. I would love to come back to Northwest, especially. I just, like I said, mine the summertime. I gotta try and figure it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll
Awesome. Yeah. Well, for those of you listening who want to keep up with Kelvin and the Dragons as they go into the postseason, I'll be linking a few of those links down in the description to their roster, to their schedule, so you guys can keep up with that. So you can jump on the bandwagon before they become a Pro A team. That's what I'm going to be doing. And speaking of having an alum here, I mean, I'd love to have more alumni on these episodes. We're actually going to be starting an alumni club or alumni association pretty soon. There will be a link on the NU Eagles website for any alumni listening. Head over there and fill that out so you can keep in contact with other alum and just keep in contact with NU athletics. As we all know, going through as many years as you go through in sports, you become a family, and we just want to keep that connection as long as we can. So I'll put that link in the description as well. But Kelvin, I want to give you the last word with one more question. If there's anything fans out there or NU athletics can do to support you going into your third season of playoffs and just with the future, is there anything we can do to support you through prayer or through just being fans? What can we do?
prayer, that's first and foremost. Always any blessings, any prayers. That goes such a long way. Maya, like my girlfriend and her mom, they always do that, and every time I hear it, it just it really just means the world to me. So that's first and foremost. And then yeah, Maya, like you said, if you guys want to follow like me or the team on Instagram, I'm sure there'll be a link in the bio somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I'll try and keep everybody updated as much as I can. And yeah, that's pretty much that, Maya.
Follow him on Instagram. Blow up his Instagram on April 15th. Tell him happy birthday. Same birthday as Chris Stapleton and Seth Rogen. So
Not actually, I did not know that, but yeah, thank you. I
now
appreciate
you know that. Make sure you say happy birthday to Kelvin. Well, it's been great talking to you, Kelvin, and good luck in the postseason.
Thank you, Maya. It was great talking to you as well.